Okay, we're back with our second interview today. This one's one I'm really excited for.
And also, sorry, before we go straight to our second interview, if you have just joined us now, you missed out an interview earlier on. We were speaking to Melanie from Mask Theatre in Newsenberg, where they will be having a festival for One Act Play Festival. And also it's starting from the 10 up until the 12 of 89.5 FM. So yeah, man, again, 061 862 1065. 061 862 1065.
Yeah, I was just also going to say, you just heard Mumbo Sugar by Arc de Soleil. So yeah, if you're like that song, make sure to text us about it. And now, getting into the good stuff. So right now, we're shining light on someone who has given so much to Cape Town's music and creative scene, Dubmasta China. For years, China has been known for his deep love of music and his role in community building, as well as obviously his powerful presence behind the decks. But over the past 2 years, China has faced a serious health battle. A tumor in his frontal lobe went undiagnosed for too long, leading to a decline in his ability to function and take care of himself. Thankfully, the tumor was removed earlier this year, and he's on the slow road to recovery. Now it's our turn to show up for China and to support him, just like he's shown up and supported so many others. A group of friends and fellow creatives have launched a fundraising effort to help him rebuild his life. Joining us this morning is Farrell Adams, one of the driving forces behind this campaign, to tell us more about China's journey, how the community can help, and what's being planned to support him, including a benefit concert that's coming up.
Yeah. The benefit concert. Hi, how are you doing? I'm Farrell, by the way. Yes, nice to see that you got my name right. People go Farrell. That's like, dude, man, come on.
I think Farrell is also like an American name, right?
I always think of Will Ferrell, like the actor, when I
Ferrell,
see but that's obviously pronounced differently. So,
well, look, I mean, Farrell is actually an Irish name. It's actually an O'Farrell. So, yeah,
you learn something new every day.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not about me. It's about the Dubmaster himself. Yeah, no. Well, let me go into a brief history of how I know Dubmaster. Actually, I don't actually have any recollection of this guy actually coming into my life, but. He was just always there from the mid-90s. I was in a band called Nine back in the day, a rock band, the first non-white rock band. Well, one of the first non-white rock bands in the country ever. And we received a moderate degree of success. But China was kind of just there. We used to hang out at a place called Ruby in the Dust, which was like a little dive, a little hole in the wall that people would come to because it had live music, it had alternative live music. And like all bands from around the country would come there and come and play. Even though it was a real, that was a dive, okay? But we loved the place, right? I mean, and that was our home for a long time. China was always part of the scene. And then we kind of, as an alter ego to our Nine heavy rock band, started a band called, Firing Squad, which was a dancehall reggae vibe, which had China, Speedy B, and myself on the vocals. So yeah, that's how we got to know each other, and I've known him since like the mid 90s, let's say 94 until now. And then he kind of went missing for a while. And everybody was like, where's China? Where's China? Where's China? But you know, he's a private guy, so we thought, okay, cool, that's just one of his things that he's doing. But then it turned out that he was really ill, and a friend of his, Lemise, eventually took him in, and then Crosby Bolani, who is one of the acts that is playing on the ball at the solidarity function, he tracked China down to Lemise's place in Athlone in Bridgetown, and went to see him. And like you say, I mean, his executive functions had started to erode. I mean, he was still there, but he was sluggish and slow. So eventually it got into a point where he started to have blackouts over like Christmas period, this past Christmas period. We're talking about, this is a period over a period about a year and a half, okay, that he was staying with Lemise, and she was looking after him. This woman is a saint, by the way. She is a saint. If you don't believe in saints, just have a look at this woman and you'll see that she really is. And she had been looking after him all the time. and in the meantime, it's been getting worse and worse. So he started to have blackouts over the Christmas period. And she was like, look, dude, it's time. Go to the hospital. Went to Groot Schuur. They did scans on him, and they had found that he had a tumor the size of a tennis ball on his brain. Yeah. So, and the funny thing about, I mean, look, like we say too, like his executive functions have started to erode. He started to become sluggish, you know what I mean, et cetera, et cetera. But which is going to happen if you've got a tennis ball on your brain. Apparently what happens is that your brain actually compresses to accommodate the bloody tennis ball. So, yeah, so I went to see him like the week before his operation. And he was still kind of like in that kind of slow mode. And then the day after he had his operation, I went to see him. And it was like our old friend was like, he was back. You know what I mean? He was there, he was present, he was communicative, he was sharp, he was on form, you know? So, yeah, so that's just a basic brief history of how I know him, and yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into a bunch of different parts of that. But first of all, can you just take a step back? Like, so I'm American. I'm not from around here. Could you explain a little bit more about like Dubmasta China? Like, why is he so beloved in the community? He's obviously very talented. Obviously, between being in like multiple bands and stuff like that. But just like, what does he mean to this community? Look,
I mean, he is. And if you look at the Back a Buddy thing, and people have written messages on that thing, it's just an amazing person. You know what I mean? He's like, he's open. He's always friendly. Never has a bad thing to say about the people. He's welcoming, and people just love him. They love him. I mean, have a look at the Back a Buddy thing. I mean, there's a Back a Buddy campaign that's going on. That's going to end at the end of this week. So, if anybody wants to make up, I'm not sure of the URL, but there is a Back a Buddy campaign. If anybody wants to know anything about him, have a look at just the comments in that Back a Buddy thing, and it's just like spreading love, spreading music. The guy he's a DJ, played reggae music, and one of the very few at the time who was playing reggae music. And he got to play at various clubs in town. So he came into contact, and also he was involved in he do a tour with Godessa, and we played with the Firing Squad, and blah blah blah, and also various tours to Europe with Teba and those guys. So yeah, I mean, and it's not just local. There's people around the world. He's touched so many people. So this is why we love him. And yeah, like I say, if you look at that Back a Buddy thing, you'll see how much money has been raised, and people have come to the party going, you know, this is for you, my bro. This is thank you, you know, just for being you. So yeah. Wow.
So let's talk a little bit more about that Back a Buddy. Like what sort of inspired you? Obviously, he's like to start this fundraising campaign. You know, like how was the response been from the community overall? Besides just these like incredible, obviously, comments on the thing.
Well, look, I'm not going to tell you how much money was raised on the Back a Buddy thing, because that's yeah. But if anybody wants to have a look, there is check it out, and so it's available. It's readily available. The response has been incredible. I mean, within the first week of the Back a Buddy, we had raised. Well, they had to basically. There's a target amount that says, okay, cool, we want to reach that, and it got to the target within the week. Like, well, not even, it was a weekend, maybe three days, you know. Then they said, okay, listen, it's doing really well. Let's increase the target. So that it's moved on, you know. So, I mean, it's been unreal. And then I look at just the Facebook response and the amount of response on Instagram, et cetera, for the event, because I've posted the event and whatever, posted the flyers and whatever. And I mean, the amount of shares, how many people have shared and commented on just what I've put on the social media platforms. It's incredible. I didn't actually start the Back a Buddy. That was started by Justine Spruit, a friend of ours who lives in the UK. She was like Queen Jazzy of OBS back in the day. She basically ran Ruby in the Dust and lived in number 10, no, number 12, Nuttall Road, number 10 and number 12, I suppose, which eventually became Touch of Madness, which closed down recently. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in that house. So she started the Back a Buddy campaign. She's also an angel, you know, so, and then, I mean, Lemise came to me like when she told me that China was in hospital and that he was going to basically, she said, listen, let's do a benefit gig. So I was like, cool. Having been in the industry for like many years, know the ins and outs of how to put together a gig, although I haven't done it for a long time. I know what's required. I know, you know what I mean, from a band's perspective and a DJ's perspective, because I DJ as well. So from a technical perspective, I kind of have that, and then know what's required to do the promotion. So, yeah. So this year we are, and we're pushing the event, and we're hoping that thousands and thousands of people will come out and enjoy the party. Yes, please.
So let's just talk a little bit more about that benefit gig. You're talking about, like, can you give us a sneak peek about what people can expect? Names, dates, details.
Okay, so the event happens on Sunday, the 27th of April. Okay, the next day is Freedom Day, so we feel free to party until late in the morning because it starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It says on the flyer 1:30. Okay. I will DJ for the opening set, playing a bit of dub, reggae, whatever. Then we got DJ, what's his name? I know this, Triple Crown. Big on the reggae scene, so he's going to be playing. And then it's my band. This guy got a little duo project called Higher Grade. We'll be doing pop songs, which we've reinterpreted in the reggae style. So that's what we do. And then it's, I try to make it like a diverse lineup because I wanted to cater for as many people as possible. Now, okay, I mean, it's not specifically a reggae gig. It's heavily reggae centered, but it's not specifically a reggae gig. So I got Heather Mack and Mark Harris. Heather Mack used to be in a band called Elemental in the 80s. So she's quite an icon on that scene, you know. And then we've got we've got Superdan, and then we've got Crosby, Polani, Teba Shumba, and then I got Rosano, DJ, and I've got Rasdynamite, DJing, and then we've got our headliners, the Sons of Selassie. And then we're closing out with Comet and Be Wise. We're playing old school drum and bass in jungle. So, we're pretty much catering for people across the board, you know. So, yeah, that's the whole jewel.
That sounds like a pretty incredible lineup.
Look, I tell you what, I mean, I know that I'm going to have to pump up on the Red Bulls and not that I drink Red Bull or whatever, but I'm probably going to be heavily caffeinated for the whole day because I'm going to have to be there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really cool that so many people in this just broader musical community have been able to come together and talk about that. And so you already sort of touched on that near in the beginning. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, why do you think so many people across the world and like in the music and creative community have come together and support one of their own like this?
Well, look, I mean, when you spend that much time expending energy and giving people your energy, because look, I mean, if from a band perspective, as a frontman for a band, there's a huge amount of energy that you have to project, right? And it's also the same when you DJ, because you basically got a whole room in your command, and you have to basically make them dance. So it's the amount of energy that he has expended in his lifetime, making people happy, making people dance. I mean, this is a direct correlation to why people have responded in the way they have. You know, they've said, okay, cool, China, thank you for the energy. We're gonna give you something back. And I tell you what, I mean, I'm also a front man, and it's when it gets to a point where, you know, people, you think to yourself, I've expended all this energy and I'm not getting anything back. You know what I mean? So for these people to all come together now and say, listen, China, look, I mean, we may not be there in person, but here's 100 Rand, here's 200 Rand, here's 50 Rand, here's 1,000 Rand. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. So now, and then we're doing this gig. You know what I mean? So basically, since COVID, people have kind of isolated themselves, and it's taken a while. And people spend more time on their bloody cell phones than they do actually interacting with other people. So this whole gig is a collection of people bringing their energy together and sharing it with each other. I know I sound like a hippie talking about energy, but yeah, so I mean, this is it. This is exactly it. So, and this energy, this collection of energy, is all going back to China. We can call it what we want. You can call it love. You can call it, you know what I mean? I like to call it love, and that's really what it is. He's given so much love out to the people that, they're just giving it back.
Again, if you have just tuned in now, you're tuning in to 89.5 FM. We have Farrell Adams, one of our driving forces behind this campaign, where they are in solidarity with China. On the 27th of April at Trenchtown in Observatory, a solidarity benefit concert will see a community coming together, obviously in positive vibes, at an event in aid of much-loved Cape Town talent. It will be in Trenchtown in Observatory. You know Trenchtown, where
I know Trenchtown. It's literally a block away from my my place.
For your house. You can walk it.
I'm going to walk there, 100%.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, it's 420 friendly as well, so it's one of those days when it's their 420 days. So, so the brothers and sisters, look, it's a reggae gig.
I know a friend of mine would love. If it's 420, that means, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So, I was just gonna just like, where can people who are listening right now, where can they get out and get involved?
I'd say just come to the gig, man. Mm. Or like I say, I don't exactly know the URL for the backer, but it's like quite a complex thing. But I mean, you can check out.
It's, I've got it.
You got it?
Yes. Beckerbody.co.za, campaign China's fund. That's where you can
cool.
Just log on to Beckerbody and type in campaign China's fund. That's where it is. Crazy enough, 99% almost
150,000 Rand. So
is it fine if I can read? I won't say names, but read some of the
Yeah, go for it.
One of them said, appreciated your super generous hospitality and amazing company and bigness when visited Cape Town. Wishing all of the good, which means this person sounds like is from US.
Yeah.
And also love and light as you regain your strength, dear China. So much. And also another one, sending love and healing vibes. And another one, all the strength to you. China, what a news. Take good care and feel love everyone is sending you. Big hug from Amsterdam, which is amazing, man. So there's a whole lot of people. I'm not going to read all of this. Otherwise, I'll end up reading until the show ends. So again, Farrell, please can you give us in detail what is this? What is the name of this, and also the venue, the time, and also obviously the money. How much it costs?
Okay, so let's start with the money. Let's get to the money. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, at China's request, we've made the cover charge 50 Rand. Okay, so it's not a lot of money, but we will have facilities there for people to make donations. So please feel free and donate. Because we made it because he was worried that we were going to isolate some people because of the price. So he wanted basically more people to come. So it's a minimum charge of 50 Rand at the door. But you can please feel free to donate some cash. We will have card machines there. We haven't done the whole cricket whatever web tickets thing, but yeah, so the cash will be at the door. It is Sunday the 27th of April and it is in Trenchtown Observatory, Lower Main Road Observatory. I think it's 143 Lower Main Road. So yeah, and like I said, 420 friendly. So yeah, bring a bud.
Bring a buddy. Yes, a friend. Bring a friend.
Yeah, buddy.
061 862 1065. Farrell, doing this amazing thing for a person like China. So what's next for other legends who are out there in our communities? Is there a way so that we know that we take care of each other? Sometimes when we are in a space of art, and bringing back to communities, sometimes we forget about ourselves, or that you need certain things and all that. In what way can we be able to, make sure that the next generation are they know what they're doing?
I just had this conversation with people. It's becoming increasingly tough for musicians to make money because, well, for various reasons. But the streaming thing is kind of, people don't get paid. Like if you don't get like $1 million, a million streamers, people streaming your music, then you don't get paid on the streaming platforms. So buy the music, go and see gigs. With AI now available, they can literally clone someone's voice with an AI. They've done it with John Lennon. You know what I mean? There's a new Beatles track with John Lennon on it. The man's been dead for like 50 years. You know what I mean? So go out. That's the only thing I can say. Go out. Pay attention to where the gigs are happening. There are gig guides available online. Have a look, see what kind of music you like, and if you like seeing a guy play guitar or guy playing drums or whatever, go and check that out, because that's like true musical expression.
Farrell, quickly, before we let you go, so we're going to the news headline. Any last words for the listeners listening now?
Guys, look, like I said to you, it's a gathering of people sharing energy. So come, please, share your energy, share your love, and get some energy from the performers who are on stage, because these people have all rushed in to come and do this, and they're donating their time, donating their talent.
Yeah.
So,
as they say, the energy you give is the energy that you receive. So it's time for the news headlines.